Good morning dear students. Hope you are fine and doing well. In today's video we are discussing about various types of foundations used for buildings. So, let's start today's video. First type of footing to study is isolated box type footing. Because it resembles like box, hence the name. It's very commonly used type of foundation, it falls under shallow foundation category. Shallow foundations are those whose depth may range between 900 mm to 3000 mm. Now here you can see, it has base, box-like mass of concrete and then the column starts. Actually, the steel bars that is, reinforcements start from the foundation base itself. Here you can see a small box, this is called starter. It serves very important function. Next type is, isolated trapezoidal footing. Now here you can see it rises like a pyramid. Generally, it has slope between 30 to 60 degrees. This is also common type of footing. This can be used for both, square and rectangular columns. Both these types that we studied are categorized as isolated footing, because they are individually constructed for each column. This is the plan, this is how it will look like when you draw the plan of this footing. Here you can see small niche, it is created due to column form work. Next type is, combined trapezoidal footing. Now here you can see, instead of creating two footings, we can make one common footing for both the columns, which may be having different dimensions. This is generally used, when two footing come very close to each other or sometime they overlap each other, so to handle this situation such type of footing is cast. These are modified footings which are designed when specific case arises. Two different columns with one single footing. This is how it will look in elevation and this is how it will look in plan. Next type is Upstand beam foundation. Here you can see, instead of creating individual footing to every column, we can make grid of beams. These beams are designed as footings. So, it will form interconnected network of beams to support the column above. The gap between the beams are later filled with site debris and make it leveled. So that one can use this as flooring to park the vehicles. You also imagine this as, upside down slab. This is how it will look in plan. As you can see there is common bed for all beams, this is also called as raft foundation or mat type foundation. Next type is, downstand beam foundation. In this type of raft foundation beams are cast first, and RCC slab is cast on top of them. And then the columns are cast. This gives leveled surface that can be used as parking. This is most preferred type of raft foundation. Next type is, steel grillage foundation. In this type of foundation, steel sections are placed on top of the concrete bed, at specified distance. On top of first steel section, another steel section layer is placed across to it. A steel plate is placed on top of it, which also acts as base for the steel column. This steel plate is welded with steel sections. Here you can see the rod is placed between the sections, those are called spacer rod. Here you can see the steel column is fixed with base placed by metal cleats and gusset plates. This view can give you a clear idea about the fixing details. This is how the entire assembly looks like. The base plate is generally 10 mm to 20 mm and cleats are either welded or bolted to it. There is another type of grillage foundation, timber grillage. In timber grillage instead of steel sections, timber logs are used to construct the foundation. Timber grillage is most common in European countries where houses are made with timbers. Steel grillage is most commonly used at railway stations, warehouses, etc. Next type of footing is, combined footing. In this type of footing, steel column which is known as stanchion, is fixed on RCC footing. This basically removes the complicated assembly of grillage foundation. Here you can see, bolts are coming out. These bolts are already inserted into the concrete at the time of casting. Then the base plate is inserted through slots, and it is then bolted. Next type of foundation is buoyant foundation. A buoyant foundation is a type of amphibious foundation in which an existing structure is retrofitted to allow it to float as high as necessary during floods while remaining on the ground in normal conditions. Amphibious architecture is a sustainable flood mitigation strategy that allows an ordinary structure to float on the surface of rising flood water rather than succumb to inundation. The system consists of three basic elements: buoyancy blocks underneath the house that provide flotation, vertical guideposts that prevent the house from going anywhere except straight up and down, and a structural subframe that ties everything together. Utility lines have either self-sealing breakaway connections or long, coiled umbilical lines. So, today we have discussed various types of foundations. I hope you understood basics. If you have any questions, feel free to write me. Thank you for joining with me. We will meet in next video with some more interesting topics to explore and study. Till then, take care and stay safe.